Huzzah! It's happening.
Oh no.
Oh
Hold
no.
on.
Hold on.
Mute.
I'm gonna mute that.
Okay, there you are. Where's me?
Hi! Hey, there you are. Hey, everybody.
I gotta go the other way. There you go. Okay, let me start this. No, we gotta go. It doesn't matter which side we're on, does it?
I don't think it matters. As long as we're on
Yeah.
the same side of the issue,
Yes. Okay.
is what matters. Hey, kids. It's the Tara Show. Live on YouTube. It is Thursday, February 27th. Congratulations for making it this far.
Yeah, really.
Ooh,
It's only
It's
five weeks and
happening.
4 days of this. Can you believe this?
No, I
5
can't.
weeks and
I
4
can't because
days.
it doesn't feel like we're actually living in the real world. We're living in a simulation. And eventually we're going to get back to the real America. I don't know. How are
I
you
wish.
though? How was your week? What happened to you
It's
since
filled
last
with
Thursday?
Well, it's filled with anxiety. My week is always filled with anxiety. I've been walking around with a knot in my stomach for since since the last election. Listening and seeing this right wing, this whole fascist movement grow and never go away. That's the thing. I have to wonder,
And
where is
how
Joe
quickly?
Biden? Yeah, but where? You know what I'm saying? Where's Joe Biden? Where's Harris at this moment? They should
They
be
don't
out
really
there.
owe us anything.
True,
They did their
true.
best. They did their best. They campaigned. She ran in my opinion,
Yes.
she ran one of the best political campaigns in history
I know.
in the shortest amount of time. And I still will never believe that they won the election legitimately because Elon Musk can control satellites. And if he
Right.
can shut off a satellite over Taiwan to help China, and he can shut off a satellite over Ukraine to help Russia, he can do some messing about with
Right.
his satellites to change election results. And I
I
still
don't
don't
doubt it.
understand why. I don't understand why Democrats didn't call for a forensic audit back in November or at all. And I don't care if it
Right.
makes us look like MAGA.
I know.
Because it just
Yep.
doesn't add up. The math never was mathing. And real data scientists, like super smart mathy people, sent Kamala Harris duty to warn letters over and over saying, we found irregularities here, we found
Wow.
irregularities there. And they can make it part of the third impeachment.
Right.
Which was announced a couple of weeks ago by Representative Al Green. Not that the media is talking about it.
No.
But that brings us to our first topic today, because obviously there's a lot going on. You and I know this. And one of their tactics is to throw all of it at us all at once,
Yes.
so that we can't really parse what's going on.
That's right. It's in Project
But-
2025. The Blitzkrieg would take place in 120 days. That's was
correct.
Written right out there. So.
Oh, but
Yeah.
Trump doesn't know anything. No, it doesn't know
No.
anything about
It's
it.
all. What is
Sure he
this
doesn't.
Project 25? I
What
don't
is
even
it?
know.
I don't.
It's
Is there a year
extreme.
called 2025? No one
Yeah.
ever heard of such a thing.
I don't even know that. I can't count that high. 20. What? It's Project 2025. That's why he would always misnomer it or mispronounce it or whatever the hell, because he
But
had
what
to
it-
pretend, that he didn't know anything about
of
it.
course.
So
And now they're cleaning house at MSNBC.
yeah,
And they've gotten rid of all of the people of color.
I know.
During
It's
the week-
incredible.
They laid off Joyanne Reed, who's I always enjoyed her show, although I haven't watched any TV news since election night
Oh, wow.
because I just
Yeah.
can't. But Joyanne Reed gone, Alex Wagner gone, other anchors of color moved to the weekends where their exposure will be incredibly limited.
Incredible.
Katie Fang and Eamon and Michael Steele and Simone Sanders will all have diminished roles on MSNBC. I wonder quite this is happening now, Tara. What do you
Well,
do you think it's happening?
It's really shocking, I think, just in general, how fast the complicity happened. The complicity of the corporate media, of corporations in general. How they didn't even try to fight back at all. how easily they jettisoned any of their, so-called progressive initiatives or programs. You know that there'll be no gay pride displays in any stores anywhere this year. No one will recognize it, even though, and as far as DEI, there is some pushback. Some corporations are pushing back on DEI. I was talking about it on my show last night with Robin Kincaid. We were doing a simulcast, but she was saying that I can't remember the corporation, but their shareholders voted to keep DEI because it's actually a profitable initiative. And DEI, that corporations that have DEI initiatives and have diverse boards of directors and whatnot are more profitable by a wide margin. So yeah.
Absolutely. Like Costco. Costco has seen their memberships increase. They actually also increased their hourly pay to their workers. And so a place like Costco is a great place to shop, or Winco, because Winco is employee owned. Those places are great. And that leads us to the economic blackout that's happening tomorrow, where, and it's the first of many economic blackouts that are going to be rolled out, and you can find that information online. But tomorrow specifically, we're not going to, it basically don't spend any money anywhere that's corporate owned. Don't take money from your bank tomorrow. Don't use your credit card tomorrow. If you're going to do any spending, take out some cash today and spend it locally at an independently owned business rather than giving your money to a corporation and a billionaire that doesn't need it. Also, that gives us a great opportunity to ask you to support the people that are telling you the truth every single day. Tara, myself, everybody in the Sexy Liberal universe, everybody on the Political Voices Network. You can drop some money into our Venmo. You can sign up for our Substacks. There are ways to support the independent media voices, which matter more than ever. And for me personally, like tomorrow specifically, we're really not going to spend money on Amazon. And I don't know. Hey, look, there's my Venmo. So, and here's the thing. It's hard out here for a freelancer. It's tough. And they want to, they're taking away so many things right now. They're taking away our health care, and they're taking away Social Security and SNAP benefits and Medicaid. And I don't know how any of that makes us healthier or safer. But I would ask, drop some money into our Venmo. Maybe buy my book at TaraDublinRocks.com today. Tomorrow I can promote it on at an indie bookstore. But the point is, you have so many choices as to where you spend your money, and you have so many choices in the way that you react. And so one of the things that we're seeing is a lot of pushback against the GOP. Have you seen those town hall videos?
Right. Well, this is why they're not having town halls anymore. This is apparently, that's their remedy. And it's their remedy for everything. Like the measles outbreaks that are happening is to not count, not take the data. And that's exactly what, this is Musk, but this is a Republican trend in general. Like,
and it's just weird because they're the pro-life party, but they're actively killing us.
And you wrote this great piece on the Political Voices Substack, and I recommend everyone go and check it out, that the pro-life party wants us all dead.
They do.
And they do.
They couldn't make it clearer.
It's a demonstrable fact. They are not pro, and that's why I always say when the Democrats are too nice, and we were always encouraging to fight back. But this is the thing, and I think maybe we touched on it last show. We were talking about how the Republicans are having there was a poll that said the public approval is about 40% for the Republicans, but it's just over 20% for Democrats. And of course the media, the corporate media, they misread why it would be that way. And my opinion is that it's that way because the Democrats don't seem to fight, and that's why people are unhappy with the Democratic Party. They see the Republicans obstructing everything when they're in the minority, and it just doesn't seem to be the same way when the Democrats are in the minority. But, I just think that there's things they can do. And the other thing is, we're in this boat because of money and politics, and I really believe and the media. These are the two ground zeros of our destruction. And it all is connected to money in general. And so that's why we have to, get the Democrats to and support the people in the Progressive Caucus, because they don't take political PAC money. That's one of the qualifications for being in the Progressive Caucus. But the problem is you can't serve two masters. So you either have to be the party of the people or the party of Wall Street. But Obama used to say Obama used to say Wall Street and Main Street rise and fall together. It does not. Wall Street's doing great. The people, Main Street, we're on the balls of our ass out here, and it's only going to get worse with what the Republicans are doing. But this is what they're doing it deliberately, because they're dragging us back to this. Forget the New Deal. They're rolling us back to the system the founders fought a revolution to escape. One with a rich run and own everything, and everyone else knows their place and awaits their rewards in heaven. That's it. You forget. I mean, that's why I can't stand, I can't stand Elon Musk and any of them, waving the flag. I mean, Zuckerberg waving the flag. They're all dragging us back to the dark ages. No social safety net. Exactly. Yeah.
And Jeff Bezos saying that he's going to change what the opinion pieces in the Washington Post can be.
Unreal.
That's a violation of your First Amendment rights right there. You can't tell me what my opinion is. You can't re-quantify what the word opinion means, just like you can't rewrite history.
You
can try, but there's enough of us out here who remember exactly what went down. I mean, Russia invaded Ukraine. You can't change those facts. That's true. It's not like Ukraine was like, come here, come invade.
Right,
come
exactly.
On.
Right, show a little leg there,
Blaming Ukraine. Hey, Ukraine, why did you have that third drink? Why did you wear that short skirt? Why were you asking for it?
Like Jodie Foster in The Accused,
Right? Yeah, like she was like, just lay Ukraine down on a pinball machine and have at it, because handing us over to Putin was Donald Trump's endgame all along, and the only reason he failed to do it in the first turn he stole was because nobody saw COVID coming. And COVID knocked out a lot of red voters because more people died in the red states because they wanted to believe that it was better to take horse tranquilizer or try to gain herd immunity, which doesn't exist. So and now we have a measles outbreak in Texas.
That's right.
Yay.
It's so sad. I feel bad.
Death great again.
Yeah, and that's it. Make measles great. I mean, it's not measles, it's freedom dots, I suppose, right?
And here's the thing. You can ask them all day, every day, why they're doing it. They won't answer you, which is why we have to be grateful for the Democrats who are fighting. Give Jasmine Crockett all praise.
That's right. She's great.
Melanie Stansberry is awesome at holding Elon Musk accountable. And we're seeing the effects of what we're doing, breaking them down. Because like all of that stuff with Doge, 21 employees have quit and pointed the finger at Musk as the reason why. Because we shouldn't have an unelected South African immigrant bureaucrat with parasite who is probably the world's biggest white supremacist and lets us know every single day. Us know every single day. They are committing crimes against humanity every single day. They are committing crimes against the United States every single day. That cabinet meeting yesterday where Trump was like, first he said stuff and then he let Musk take over and then Donald Trump fell asleep. Did you see the photos of him? He's like,
well, that they called him. That's why he had to call Joe Biden Sleepy Joe, because it's either a projection or a confession. Yeah.
Right. Well, every accusation is a confession from them, right? But this is again why Democrats need a devoted Democratic press secretary, not someone who's already in Congress. Because that person in Congress needs to be congressing. Yep. They need to be working. They can't be distracted. I don't need Democrats to stop what they're doing, hold a press conference, and go back to work.
Yes,
what we need is a Jessica Tarlov to counteract everything that Caroline Leavitt says, because now And we talked about this last week, but between last week and today, they've decided who can be in the press room and who cannot.
I know,
So
and it's
aside,
pathetic that any of that any legitimate news outlet is in there. Get the hell out of there. What's the point of it?
right,
I don't
because
know.
they're not going to call on you or they're going to lie to you. So if
Yeah.
you're not working for Fox, Newsmax, or OAN, or what's the other one? The one that with the Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend, the one
Oh,
with the giant head and
God.
the puffy eyes.
I don't
Whatever
remember, yeah.
theirs is called, or Steve Bannon's website, or
Yeah.
whatever. Those are the people that are going to
Newsmax,
be
yeah.
invited. Or Real America's Voice, or
Yes,
something like
One
that.
America, real. Everything's real and one, and America and Patriots and
It's real
Eagles and
bullshit is
Stars.
what it is.
Yeah, well,
So-
that's why they cling to the symbols of patriotism, because the substance is over their heads. They hate America. You understand? I mean, we
Correct.
all understand
They
this.
hate
They do.
America, which we don't
They do.
understand why.
Yeah.
We don't understand why.
Well, they
And
hate
so-
democracy. That's what it is. They hate
which is weird.
Mm-hmm,
Why?
because
it's been working
this is
for you so
yes.
well.
I've been
And
thinking
yet-
about. You're right. I mean, it made this dumb piece of dirt, Elon Musk, the richest parasite on earth. Which, I mean, he really is the poster child for why billionaires shouldn't exist. And he's not a genius. I wrote a thing on Substack about that too. He is
you
not.
did,
He's
and
he's not. No, and he's not an innovator. I mean, no genius. First of all, is a racist. There is a correlation there between stupidity and racism, and this is another studied fact that
Right.
People with low IQs, they are attracted to hierarchies, and they're more apt to be racist because they're dumb, and they don't get out much.
Well, it's easier to let other people think for you, I guess.
Yes, and they're easily
how should
led.
I feel? Tell me. And
Yeah, right.
Again, it's just-
right.
That's
It's-
dangerous. It's so dangerous. And
But it's about they hate democracy. When Republicans say they want to drown government in a bathtub, and shrink it and drown it and kill it and stab it and kick it and kick it in the balls or whatever the hell they want to do to government, what they really mean is democracy, because they like government just fine. They like a government that has its boot on your neck. They like a government.
Hey, Jim Adelberg in the chat says I need to be louder. Jim,
Oh,
I'm trying.
I know.
I am
We got to get you.
trying.
We're working on getting
Put this
Tara
microphone inside
a
my
better.
mouth.
Yes, a better a better microphone.
Sorry, Jim. I don't want to.
She needs a better microphone. I have her up. Her what do you call it? Her levels
Is
is
this better?
at full.
Is this better? I'm at full
Maybe I need to
volume. I'm trying.
lower my volume a little.
I don't know, but I don't
So
know.
we
but
could
are
both be
working
low?
on getting me a better microphone. And
We're getting you a better
webcam.
microphone. We're getting
Those
it.
things aren't cheap, though. So if
No,
anybody
I
wants
know.
to
Well-
kick in a little scratch,
that's what I'm
we won't
saying.
Say no.
It's
We're not going to
this is
say
not
no.
cheap.
We're doing our best.
My microphone is not cheap, but
Yeah, so-
it makes all the difference. And
I know, and-
somebody who was an audio or is an audio engineer, listens to my show, sent me a letter, an email once saying, "I love your show, but your microphone sucks." And he listed everything I should get, and I did, and it
All right,
works.
well, we'll
So
get me that too.
yes, but we will.
We
will.
We have to increase some revenue
Yes.
before I can get anything special.
Well, that's the
So
thing. We don't have big
make sure you
billionaire
guys are
benefactors.
subscribing.
That's
That's
it.
correct. We
Mhm.
don't. And that's why you can trust us, because we are as independent as independent gets.
That's it.
And you are following all of our voices, Stephanie and John and Frangela and Hal and all of the contributors on Political Voices Network Substack. All of this matters now more than ever, because
Yep.
you're not going to see us on MSNBC.
No.
You're not going to. And, I know that there are people out there who are invested in keeping our independent voices rising to the top. So you have to make sure you're following, like people like Malcolm Nance, people like Jim Acosta, who's a free agent now.
Yep.
We have Adam Parkamenko and Sam Youngman, who have their own Substack. There are lots of the Midas kids. There's lots of us out here now, and more of us are going to start gathering, I think, and maybe we'll even be able to have a collective.
I hope
I don't want
so.
to say network, because
Yeah.
there'll be people doing things here and there. But the collective, telling the truth and getting the truth out every single day is vitally important, and it cannot be filtered. through
Right.
the mainstream
You're
media
right.
anymore. And that goes back to the devoted Democratic press secretary
so true.
who needs to stand out in front of the media every single day and say, this is what Democrats did today. This is what Republicans did not do today.
Right.
And I'll keep saying it needs to be Jessica Tarlov from Fox News.
Yes.
Because first of all, if Donald Trump's allowed to hire people from Fox to run the Department of Defense and the Department of Transportation, I don't see any problem with the Democrats hiring Jessica Tarlov to stand up there and tell the truth like she does every day on Fox anyway.
Right.
But this way
She's
she
great.
would reach a wider audience of people who are actually invested in keeping our democracy going instead of ending it.
That's it.
And I don't know how we get that to people when we're so suppressed on social media apps, but it doesn't mean I stopped trying.
Yeah.
So yes,
well,
like
that's
one
it.
of the things I did yesterday, I called Malcolm Kenyatta, who's a vice chair at the DNC, who follows me back on Twitter, who I met at the DNC, and reminded him of all of these things. And I was like, Democratic press secretary, and I'll keep doing it and that's what we should do. So tell me about an act of resistance that you performed over the last week.
Well, I mean, doing the show is definitely an act of resistance, I think, because this is, I mean, think about how, I mean, everything starts with a conversation. The American Revolution started in tea shops with the colonists trading pamphlets that
we're getting some money towards
a microphone. Nice.
Elizabeth and Jim, we have a microphone fund. I think that's great. I think that's better than just saying send us money. We do need a microphone fund. We need a microphone fund. I love that. Yeah. It's just to make the show better. Right. Anyway, continue.
No, I agree, and we're getting you a microphone. It's gonna happen. We're up in the game. We're up in the game here. No, but so. We human beings are storytellers, and that's why the authoritarians, and that's why Trump in the first term and before he became this, the so-called president, despite receiving fewer votes the first time, he had to devalue the currency of truth. Right? He had to diminish. He literally said, "Don't believe what they tell you. Believe what I tell you." So,
and the fake news and the fake news this.
Yeah, the Lugan press and
the fake news just used to be, the Weekly World News tabloid next to the National Enquirer.
Yep.
And now he has turned the American people against the American media. That's one of his few successes.
Yes,
one of his few successes.
He's just a divider. He has and I think about every missed opportunity. Like COVID, for example, we had the worst response to COVID. That's why I can't forgive anybody that voted for him again. I mean, he left office with 1 million dead behind him. That's in itself. Why didn't the media never repeated that? Of course. Why? I don't know. We had to hear how Joe Biden was up in the polls, down in the polls, how old he was every other day. I mean, it was like
never talked about how old sundowning Pawpaw is.
Right, who got up on stage and swayed to the music for 20 minutes and gives these nonsensical answers to any, word salad, nothing answers, really showing that he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He's just a con man.
He's so over it. He's so checked out. He's playing golf even more now than he did first term because he has Elon to do all of the stuff for him.
Yes. The real president.
Elon Musk take over a cabinet meeting.
It's disgusting.
And again, I'll just reiterate because it confuses me. I was led to believe that the MAGA cult doesn't like it when immigrants come to the United States and take jobs from Americans.
Right.
I have that right, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
If that's the case, then why are they okay with the South African doing the job of the American president? And I would contend, and I think I said this last week on the show, that they wouldn't be nearly okay if he was a melanated South African bureaucrat.
No. Well, if this were...
Because he's got he said he's a waxy white one. So
exactly. If this were... Imagine... All you got to do is play the game, just switch it up. Imagine this was Joe Biden or Obama, because he had darker pigment. They hate him as well, but even more. But, and this were, George Soros doing
exactly.
whatever. I mean, we wouldn't be firing people, Maybe it was George
No.
Soros building hospitals. Who the hell knows? I don't know. They would have a problem with it anyway because they
Of
would
course.
be just like everything they talk about. They're so. That's why I'm so sick of them. If they were all, I mean, they're only consistent in their hypocrisy. But just think about my entire life, your entire life, our lives. We've been dragged through their manias. They tell people, okay, now get angry about death panels that don't exist.
Right.
Now get
They're
angry
coming
about
to take your guns.
right. They come in and they disrupt things. They scream and yell. And they don't know how to behave themselves, and go to school board meetings or town hall meetings, disrupting things. You know, they just don't know how to behave. And they've been active, like even the vaccination thing. All of a sudden, this is now a mark of freedom that you don't vaccinate your kids. Well, you know,
And then they die of measles in Texas.
yeah.
And then
I
Bill
mean,
Cassidy has the audacity. Bill Cassidy, who voted for RFK Jr.
I know.
He was the deciding vote, and he is
Disgraceful.
complaining because he's so concerned now about the measles outbreak crossing the border over into his state of Louisiana. Well, it's too late now, doctor. And so Bill Cassidy should lose his medical license along with his Senate seat.
He should.
Because you did not vote to protect your constituents. None of these Republicans
No, they
are
don't.
doing the job their constituents elected them to do. And so when we call Republicans, because we should be calling Republicans
Yes.
as well as Democrats, remind them this is not what their constituents voted
No.
for. Now they're getting mad about the Second Amendment. Now they're getting mad about losing health care, losing
Oh, it's coming for them. Yeah.
losing SNAP benefits, losing all of these things. And now they're asking why. Their own voters are asking them why, which is another reason why they're not showing up at town halls. Because when your
That's
own
it.
voters are starting to hold you accountable, they're going to go and hide.
Yeah.
And all of it is just weakness and cowardice
Yep.
and bending a knee to fascism.
It's
While-
disgraceful. Yeah.
And Democrats
cowards.
are fighting, but most people
Yeah.
don't know Democrats are fighting, which
It's
is why we
true.
need the Democratic press secretary.
Mhm.
Did you see what James Comer did to Maxwell Frost?
I
you
did
see
not.
that?
What did he do? Oh
Okay.
my God.
So James Comer is probably one of the biggest Trump sycophants
Yes.
that exists, right? He and Mike Johnson, I think, are tied for, number one, buried up there in the alimentary canal. And he's the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, which is so troubling.
It's
Right? He's the
so-
ranking member.
What an
And
embarrassment,
Maxwell,
right?
I
Oh.
know. And during committee meeting, Maxwell Frost, who's the youngest member of Congress, and he's from Florida, referred to Donald Trump as the grifter in chief,
Good.
which is pretty
Nice.
mild, which
Yeah.
is accurate. And James Comer was like, "Get out, get out!"
He kicked him
Threw a
out.
little hissy fit. He's like, "Get out!"
Is
And
he
it's just
allowed
like,
to do
you're a
that?
j-
I guess so,
I don't
right?
know what they're allowed. I guess they're allowed to do that, but what a giant baby!
I know.
Maxwell
I
Frost
know.
is like, why is this happening? And James Comer's like, "Get out! I'm not answering.
Oh
I'm not
my
playing with you
God.
anymore."
I hate
It's
them.
just pathetic. The weakness, the
Yes.
spineless,
The childishness. But the thing
bending
is,
a knee
Exactly.
instead of standing up to say this is wrong. It's
Right,
just
but these
Tom
are
Tillis
people-
gets a death threat and he's like, "Okay, I'll vote."
I
for
know,
you."
right? Don't hurt me. But this is, I mean, they're cowards. So, and they
They
that's a
always have
scientific fact too. But the fact is, this is the other thing. They don't like Maxwell Frost calling the con man the grifter in chief. Yeah, these are people that can't even call the Democratic Party by its actual name. That's something that drives me
No.
up the
Oh,
wall.
when they call it the Democrat Party?
Yeah, the Democrat Party.
Democratic?
Yeah, it goes back to the Lee Atwater, dirty tricks, and it was what's the other one? Oh, and who's that other guy that is annoying? The death panels guy. Don't call it don't call it Obamacare. He was the one that had the death panels or the death tax. How to message these things? That's one thing that the Republicans know. They know messaging. They know how to do it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
they're all bullies, and
Right.
bullying is effective
And
because
name
people
calls,
get
yeah.
scared. And again, I was blocked on Twitter by Donald Trump in
I
August
know.
of 2015. Andrew
That's the
Tate
best.
has me blocked. Oh, they're so brave.
I know.
Mike
Such
Flynn has me
children.
blocked. Like, the biggest names that are now in power have me blocked. Dan Bongino blocked me.
Wow.
What's his name?
You got a
Road
good.
Rash.
That's a winning streak. I
Sean
think.
Duffy. Sean Duffy blocked me on his
Damn.
personal account. Like, they're
That's
all afraid of the
great.
truth. They
They
don't
are.
want you
That's
telling the
it.
truth. They
No,
don't
no,
want
you're
us telling
right.
the truth. They don't want us asking questions that are based in truth. And
Right.
you know as well as I, you ask them a question that starts with the word why, they're definitely not going to answer it, because that speaks to exactly what they're doing. So when I ask, why are you doing this? Again, and I've explained this, like people who watch me on Hal's show every Monday know this about me. If I can understand why somebody does something, I don't have to like it or agree with it, but it helps me understand and categorize them. Oh, you think it's fine for a sex trafficking rapist to walk around free. Got it.
Right.
Oh, you're fine with someone selling America to Putin because, I don't know, you own a corporation. Just like, I get it, but I don't like it. But it makes it easier for us to do our jobs and call them out. Because now you can say, oh, Nancy Mace says she supports women and that Donald Trump will protect women. So I left her a voicemail today asking if she thinks that he's a protector of women, why would he give safe harbor to Andrew and Tristan Tate?
Well, he owns
you can't
the
have
libs
it both
that
ways,
way.
right?
Yeah, right. But that's
How
it.
are you
See,
owning the libs when rapists are walking around your house?
Well, you know, he knows it will upset the libs, and see, this is the other thing that I always point out, that if you are operating on your whole ideology is based on annoying other Americans, then how could you call yourself a patriot? That doesn't sound like a patriotic thing to do, you know? That's not...
No, you should call yourself a Russian asset.
Yes, you're a traitor.
Like that, because you
are. Exactly.
It's disgusting.
It's really
disgusting.
gross.
I have never, ever been... We should not be scared of our government in the United States.
No,
that's
it's us. And it should be us, right? Accessible, and we should be participating in it. But that's the whole thing about fascism, though. You know, if you read the book They Thought They Were Free by Milton Mayer, who is a sociologist that studied the Germans after World War II to find out, well, what was it? How did they fall to fascism? And I mean, it's a really chilling read because it's so apropos to what we're going through today. But they do it so slowly, and they poison the whole...
Yes, it's the slow boil, and the Russians are very patient.
Exactly.
Because Vladimir Putin has been grooming Donald Trump since they met in 1987.
That's right.
Anybody who's paying attention knows that. And the smart thing, Putin is so savvy and really just understand. He can sense somebody's weakness almost right away and figure out a way to exploit it to his benefit. And the thing about Donald Trump is that the guy has walked around unloved his entire life.
Oh, I know.
His parents didn't love him. Nobody taught him how to be a decent human being.
That's right.
That was first exploited by Roy Cohn and then exploited by Vladimir Putin. And as soon as any male in a position of power gave him any attention, it gave him a little tiny micro boner. Somebody loves me. No, they don't. They figured out how they could use you to further their own agenda, dumbass. And that's the MAGA cult in a nutshell. What am I hearing? Is that applause?
It's just an applause. And just the audience is applauding.
Hey, thank you so much. And now it's all of these enablers whose parents didn't love them or didn't pay attention to them. And bullies were bullied. Bullied is almost genetic, right?
Yes. Yes. Well, because it takes a level... It takes maturity. So think about it. You know, we are a nation of immigrants. I mean, that's just the way it is. I know they hate that. We are a multiracial liberal democracy founded from the liberal age of enlightenment, where people had the radical idea that we didn't need kings and aristocracies and we could promote the general welfare.
Still don't.
Right, exactly. But as we get closer to including everyone in that franchise, that's when they lose their minds. You know, they can only take democracy to a point, but which is not real democracy. It's still an oppressive state where rich white men rule and everybody else awaits their rewards in heaven. So this is what they have been working on since, I believe, the founders rebelled against the king. They've been trying to drag us back.
Probably.
Probably. The conservatives, not just,
of course. And the new tax cuts that are going to make the billionaires richer and the
incredible.
Poor people poorer. So you show those stats to a MAGA person. Show those stats. They're cutting your Medicare. They're taking away your food benefits. They're taking away your Social Security. And they're changing the taxes so that you pay more in taxes and millionaires pay less. Why is that okay with you? Also, Denny's and Waffle House are now going to charge an egg surcharge if you order eggs when you go to Denny's or Waffle House. And bulk of Denny's and Waffle Houses are where? Red states. So you're not getting the end of the war in Ukraine. You're not getting lower egg prices. You're not getting better government programs. Why are you proud to support Donald Trump?
Right.
Why? That's
because
the unanswerable question.
Yeah, it's
so if
because
there are MAGA kids in the chat, that's my question to you.
Right.
What are you proud of today? What did he give you today? Nothing.
It's that they don't get it. You see, they're all on some kind of public assistance, and that there are stats that prove that of course white people in these red states are statistically on public assistance more than people with darker pigment, right? In general, as a measure of the population, right? But they think that they deserve it, and they don't really see it either. So it's sort of, as far as that's government, it's like when we were debating or whatever that was with the Obamacare. I remember I went to Washington, D.C. with Mike Malloy. I was field producing his show, and went outside, and all those people were protesting, and there's that famous picture of a lady with a big Mickey Mouse hand that said, government hands off my Medicaid or Medicare. And I was talking to her, but that became like just emblematic of that time. Hands off my Medicare? Says it. Get your government hands off my Medicare. Medicare is a government program. So, there is some kind of disconnect there where they're not getting the truth. They're not getting, and they're not being told, what they really aren't, they're propagandized. They're thoroughly duped, and all they get, if you watch Fox News and you watch OAN or any of these other channels, it's bad for your soul. But all they do is tickle racist funny bones and tickle all these bigoted funny bones and get people upset and angry with each other. And but that's how you divide and conquer a nation. Because if the people are unified, they could never get away with this. It goes back to the first union busters when unions were when the labor movement was young. And one of the founders of the so-called right to work, one of their tactics was that you don't want to call some N-word your brother, right? So this is the way they've done it for forever, and you go back further when before the founding of the nation. When they came over, there were enslaved people and indentured servants, and the lords were afraid that they would get together and overthrow the lords who were in the minority. So what did they do? They gave the indentured servants just a little more privilege than the enslaved. So, they had somebody to kick down on. They seemed better then. It was a way, it is really a scam that what really annoys me about Republicans in general, besides everything else, is that for all them like looking for conspiracies under every friggin' rock, they don't see the oldest conspiracy right in front of their face, which is make the rich richer, divide and conquer along any fissure of disunity, as Henry Wallace wrote in his famous 1944 warning. The VP Henry Wallace wrote a warning about, I'm trying to remember the name, against or about America, a warning of American fascism right after we had defeated the Nazis in Europe. And the vice president wrote a a warning saying that we have fascists here. So, and this is
Yeah.
who they are. They exploit
Yeah.
every fissure of disunity. They claim to be super patriots, but they are the poster children for monopolies and selfish vested interests. I mean, what the hell? That letter? I suggest everybody Google it, and
it's just people don't want to believe
tearful.
something that awful can happen in America, and it's happening right now. And I always go back to, I mean, it's a clever slogan, but Democrats deliver everything Republicans remove. Right. Our government, okay, the United States government is not supposed to take anything away from us. It is supposed to give us.
Yes.
Give us a better life. Give us Social Security. Yeah. Give us retirement. Give us health care. Give us programs that better our lives. Give us a Department of Education. Give us an NIH, a CDC. All of these programs that have been in place for decades that make daily life our daily lives that we have come to enjoy. Now Republicans are taking all of that away. Tell me about a time that a Democrat came to a Republican store and said, "I'm here to collect your guns." That has never once
It never happened. Never.
That has never once happened. Democrats don't want your guns. Democrats also own guns. The only thing we ask is that you don't kill people with your guns. Seems like an easy ask.
Right.
You know, I've managed to never kill another human being, and I'm 55. I also don't own a gun, don't want one. But I have this weird thing where I just like let people live their lives as long as they're not hurting me. I think that's what we're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
So again, like it's just, for me, it's a huge disconnect. And if you go back and look at basic history in America, Republican presidents ruin things for everyone. Then a Democratic president comes in and cleans it up, and then people decide to have a selective memory and forget how good everybody forgets how good we had it under both Obama terms.
I know.
Everyone forgets how we had it great under Joe Biden. The media just didn't report on it. We had the best economy in the world and lifted up other world economies with ours. And Republicans were like, inflation sucks. Inflation was like 2.4% at the end of the Biden administration.
Right.
So please. And that's why people need us.
Yes.
And they need independent voices.
It's true.
And after the bloodbath at MSNBC, it'll be really interesting to see where all of those people land. I mean,
oh God!
Did you see how Rachel Maddow just dragged MSNBC to filth? Did you see Rachel Maddow on Monday?
Yes, and she's got the power to do that, and then she's got the platform.
And she has
she's
the
great.
Money.
Right.
She doesn't need to work another day in her life. Neither does Lawrence O'Donnell. Neither does Nicole Wallace. And they're the three names that are left that I trust.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. And I feel bad. I mean, Joy Reid was excellent. I was looking up her ratings. She didn't have bad ratings, so there is really
didn't.
no
They
excuse.
just claimed that she did.
Yeah, well, they didn't actually point to her ratings. They said that whatever their new something or other, I can't remember what it was, but did they point out the ratings? I don't remember, but maybe they think. Because it was she had decent ratings. Her
detractors did, but not MSNBC.
Yes.
No, her ratings were fine. She just decided. She just was, reporting while black.
That's it.
What it was. Reporting while black womaning.
Telling the truth about the racist right wing, the fascists in our government.
To blame the messengers. Look at them attacking the messengers. That's why my voice is completely suppressed on Twitter.
Yes.
That's what, right?
Yes, they definitely are. Shadow banned.
And it's still kind of amazing. I don't know how many people in the chat saw. I know you did, but that. When Elon asked government workers to send him an email telling him what are the 5 things that you accomplished this week, and so regular people started emailing him, and you can still do it because the email address is active. It's hr@opm.gov.
Oh, that's good. Good.
You can email Elon Musk right now. So I did my part. I did my civic duty as an American citizen, and I reached out. And I shared my 5 things, which were all about letting people know that Elon Musk is an unelected Nazi bureaucrat from South Africa. And I used my New Jersey words and swore. And Rolling Stone decided to use that as the example of what people were doing. And it went viral. And it's been
amazing.
picked up by several it was on Apple News and Them.us, which is an LGBTQ plus website,
Awesome.
used it. But they didn't name me or link me, which I was like, you could have totally done that. But
That's not right. Oh my God.
did use my salutation as their headline, which was "Dear Ketamine Cooked Nazi," which I maybe a little strong, maybe a little strident.
No,
but definitely
it's
attention
100%.
getting.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely attention getting. So, I'm someone who likes to call things what they are. Some people are uncomfortable with that, and I understand that. But if we don't call the things what they are, then people forget the power of words. Now, I cannot use swear words, but and you can say white supremacist, which is using 2 words instead of 1. But ultimately, the reason we had a Holocaust was that people were scared to not call things what they were.
Yes.
And it's really important to call them out when you are addressing Republicans. Use those words and ask them why. Like, you should not be okay with what's happening to the Treasury Department. And apparently Elon Musk's own employees weren't okay because 21 of them quit and pointed the finger at Elon specifically.
Saying they weren't going to use their skills to harm people, to harm their fellow Americans. Exactly.
So why is it okay for Elon Musk to keep doing that? Why hasn't he been arrested when he holds no real office?
Right.
He's
why
not
hasn't
elected.
He been arrested? He should,
and
that's what
question,
I dream. Yeah, I dream that he will be arrested one day because, and as I wrote in the thing about Elon Musk yesterday, not being a genius, he's not a genius. The reason I wrote that was because I was listening to the corporate media. Sometimes I'm working here, it's on in the background, and someone did it again and called him a genius. Why doesn't he just? Yeah, he's not. Why doesn't he just stay in his lane and be an innovator? He was born on
third base. Just
he's
like
not
Trump.
a genius.
He's the South African. No,
exactly.
He's not this. He's the South African Trump.
Yeah, it's so true. They are both grifters. He's more like Elizabeth
Big
Holmes
grifters.
And Sam Bankman-Fried than he is a genius. They're all grifters. I mean, this is the new Gilded Age of grifters, where you just have to have some bullshit, scam that you're selling people. But he
like a $250 bill or an autographed Bible, or
oh my God,
or a Bitcoin. Or an NFT.
I don't understand. Multi-level marketing vitamin scam. I mean, what billionaire?
Unbelievable.
Right? It's just
I'm honestly shocked that you can't buy Herbalife from the White House website at this point, right?
You might. It might. Don't give them any ideas, really.
Anybody need some Amway? Want to sell some Amway?
Right.
Ding dong. Avon calling. So
it's unreal.
It's insanity. It is insanity what we're witnessing.
It's a disgrace.
And again, it's up to us to shine a light on it and call it out, because democracy dies in darkness. And so when you have people who own newspapers changing what words mean, and people who are in charge of news stations changing the lineup because they're fans of Edward Snowden and Donald Trump, that's who's in charge at MSNBC now. Yes. A Snowden fan is their booker, and a Republican woman named Rebecca Cutler with a K, that's appropriate. Rebecca KKK Cutler is in charge of programming at MSNBC. Wow. If Chuck Todd quits his job, shit is bad. Yeah. Because he was as ineffective as everybody else. But when Chuck Todd is the moral high ground.
Right. It's true. And I do appreciate the, Rachel and Lawrence O'Donnell and Nicole hanging on.
I hope that they don't stay there much longer, though, because we're, now people are saying Elon Musk should buy MSNBC. No, thank you. But guess how easy it would be for him to do that when you have a Project 2025 architect in charge of the FCC.
Absolutely. They would not do any trust busting. Absolutely. And that's why we know, the liberal media. This is the liberal media here, and I hate to keep harping on it, but that's the truth. And and I'm not afraid. I mean, whatever. I'm just concerned in general how they're going to start coming for the smaller outlets, because that will happen eventually if they.
With Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, if once they get the big guys, they're going to go after the smaller ones.
Exactly.
I guarantee they'll go after the Midas Touch guys now that they're the number one downloaded
Right.
podcast. They have dethroned Joe Rogan.
Well, that's
So anybody,
good.
right? And so, well, and that's excellent. So, but that makes them a bigger target.
Yes.
And all of these people who are getting laid off are popping up with Midas, going, "This is what happened."
Wow.
When you have people who you trust are walking away from corporate media, that's who you listen to. When Malcolm Nance tells me to stop DMing on Twitter and use Signal instead because it's encrypted,
Oh, wow.
I'm going to
Oh,
listen to
geez.
Malcolm Nance. I'm going to
Yeah.
listen to him more than I'm going to listen to somebody who's on Fox News, obviously. So,
Wow. That's
and
scary.
as we're into the last few minutes of the show, and so one of the things that you and I talked about when we were building this show is we have to make sure that we leave everybody feeling hopeful, or at least somewhat optimistic, or give them something good to look forward to or cling to.
I try. Yeah.
Do we want to try to do that for people?
Yes,
or do we want to just
think.
be like,
no, it's a great idea.
because we're not powerless.
No, and
I
helps
think it's really
me
important.
too, because I'm
Oh,
always
good.
like, I'm somebody that's like, convince me that I should have hope. That's why I guess I have a show.
We
too.
have reasons. Vicky wants to know if we think the press secretary is going to give Midas Touch a press pass. No.
Oh wow.
I don't.
They requested
No, they're
one?
not. I don't know. Has Midas requested one? Because that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
They would not let any Midas people in the press room, just like they wouldn't let you or I in the press room.
Right.
Or
It's just a
Stephanie Miller in the
pointless-
press room.
Right. But I don't see the point of it. It's, Woodward and Bernstein didn't get the Pulitzer because they were sitting in the press room. You're just
Right.
stenographers for a liar.
Yeah, Midas was on MSNBC, so maybe there'll be some sort of pairing with all of the people who left MSNBC going to go over to
Incredible.
Midas now.
Oh wow.
I
I
don't
wish
know.
they'd come to a Political Voices network. Damn it.
Well, you know what, though? We could all be under the same umbrella because we technically are, in that we are
Right.
all the truth tellers. And it's, when we have people in the chat, and thank you, everybody in the chat,
Yes,
for
thank you
being
guys.
here with us. Like, someone just said, give Hal Sparks a press pass.
Oh,
I would love.
that
Wouldn't
would
it be
be
amazing
my
to
dream.
get Hal in the press room to ask Caroline just one
Are you
question?
kidding me?
Just
Oh,
one.
my God.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
It would be
That,
great.
again, but if we had a Democratic press secretary like Jessica Tarlov, we would
Right.
not only get truth directly from the Democratic Party, but then she would be in front of real press, including press from Fox, because she would know how to say to Peter Doocy, "Nice try, Peter." Actually, it's
Right.
this.
Yes.
Which Karine Jean-Pierre did effectively also.
Yes.
So what I would love is to, first of all, nobody is powerless. Do not let anyone tell you that you are. And don't let anyone tell you that Democrats aren't fighting. That's an easy, lazy message, right? That's
Sorry.
easy.
I'm
It's an
sorry.
easy. No.
No, I hear
You're
you. I
not-
want to be convinced that they're fighting. Yes.
Right.
I see some of them fighting,
We
but
are,
yes.
and it's because you don't see it on the mainstream airwaves.
You're
because
right.
That doesn't get ratings. Good news doesn't get ratings. Bad news gets ratings. Fear tactics get ratings. And that's why, everything's on fire right now. It's so much easier to say to somebody, "Oh my God, the sky is falling," rather than, everything's actually not falling and you could go outside right now and nothing's going to hit you on the head. So again, I remind you, you're not powerless. You have a voice. Use your voice the way Tara and I are using our voices. Communicate with other people. Demand better of all of our elected officials, not just Democrats.
True.
Democrats are fighting for us, but again, when you're in the minority, it's hard to prevail. One great thing we
True.
could all do is focus on the special elections that are coming our way, and we can flip seats and get our House majority back.
God, yes.
Talk about the things
That's
that
what
the
has to
media is
happen.
not. So there's that. There is going to be a third impeachment. You wouldn't
Definitely.
know that if you watched the MSM. Representative Al Green announced articles of impeachment weeks ago.
Well,
ago.
you have to have the House majority in order to advance the impeachment. So that's
April.
Yes.
April come she will, as
Exactly.
Simon Garfunkel sang. So what I would, we can just give people an assignment. We can give people an assignment. Oh, wait.
That's a
So
good
Berkeley
idea.
was in Rockaway, Oregon town hall. Did I go? No, because Rockaway is on the coast, and that's really far. It's a 2.5 hour drive from where I am. I know that Dan Rayfield, our state attorney general, is going to start holding town halls. If they come closer, I'll actually absolutely swing by. But let's give everybody an assignment for the week.
Well, what do you think?
Call your
go right. Yep.
Call Republicans, and also remind Democrats that we're here, and we're not going away. And again, everybody's activism belongs to them. If you don't feel comfortable making phone calls, I totally understand that. You can email any member of Congress, Republican, Democrat, whatever. Start locally, but also go to the national level.
Yep.
Taking care of your own community matters. So again, tomorrow is the economic blackout. Support local, independent, specifically Black and women-owned businesses with cash. Go take out cash today. Kick some money up to the Political Voices Network Substack today. Today. Sign up for Tara's Substack. Sign up for my Substack today. Buy my book today because it's being sold through Amazon. It's at taradublinrocks.com. There are small, and we say this all the time, small acts of resistance add up.
Right.
Everybody in the chat, Al Green is on record. Follow him. Yes. There should be at least a weekly Unravel the Bullshit News Conference. Weekly? No, daily. Daily, people know.
Yes, it can't be
Monday
weekly.
through Friday.
Yeah, it has to be
daily
every day.
Press conferences. I want everyone to remember that we have many options. We are not, push back. We have the ability to push back. James Carville predicted that that the GOP will implode within 30 days.
No,
I don't know about that either.
30 days.
But what we're doing right now is not sustainable. What they're doing is not a sustainable model.
They will, and this is, I do hope, even though they have the propaganda, because half the country is listening to this propaganda, but it will, when the reality of their lives hits them in the face, like all the people losing their jobs, it's, maybe they'll wake up. That's one thing I hope that I keep seeing. Like, I think it was Oklahoma voted overwhelmingly for Trump. Every district is red, and they just lost, cut one of the main employers in the state, and that affects everything. Exactly. You get what you vote for, and people. Somebody posted on I'm living on leopards eating my face Reddit page. Really.
Yeah, no. The leopards ate my face, and then they raised the price of my pain meds.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And I know,
but it would be a lot easier to enjoy the finding out part for them if it also didn't impact us.
That's it. And thinking about everywhere they touch, they destroy the FAA. Everything, health, education, research.
And it goes back to why. Why did you vote for that? Why did you vote for your own death? Why did you vote to hurt your grandparents and your children? Why did it's so frustrating. I mean,
because they hated trans people. That was it. Trans,
which is so stupid because they're like the most minority of all minorities, and it's crazy. I mean, I'm sure every single person watching us has somebody that they know who is still stubbornly insisting that they're great with their vote. They're totally fine with what Republicans. My own stepfather voted for Trump 3 times.
Oh, wow.
There's nothing I can say to that man. Nothing.
Yeah.
When I told him they're going to take away your Social Security. No, they're not. Like, they're going to take away your benefits. No, they're not. They're going to do this. Wow. They're going to do that. No, they're not. And they're doing it now.
Wow.
And I said to him, I'm like, if you want to vote away your Social Security and you want to go bankrupt and you want to suffer for the rest of your life, that's on you. Don't you dare do that to my mother.
Yeah.
Don't you dare. And so it's so frustrating. It's like you voted for your own demise.
Wow,
kind of hard to own the libs when you're dead.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's that they see, and that's the thing, because if their Social Security isn't cut and their Medicare isn't cut, it's because Democrats fought, and and they were able to pass these programs in spite of conservative obstruction. And they have no an awareness of this. They don't even have the manners or the maturity to simply say thanks, right? They'll just, oh, let's go,
They just
Brandon.
want Republicans to win.
Yeah.
And they don't understand what that means because we all end up losing.
Yep.
We all end up losing. If you want to spend $50 to go have breakfast at Waffle House because eggs are expensive, that's your problem.
That's it.
So your assignment for the week ahead is to contact Republicans and ask them why they're doing this.
That's a good idea.
And you're not going to get real answers, but just remember, it's somebody's job to answer the phone. It is somebody's job to listen and transcribe all of the voicemails. And our phone calls are making an impact on Republicans because they're mad about it. They're mad and they're annoyed. And we're reversing some things. It's making an impact. Never give up and never give away your power.
That's right. We will win.
All right,
we are on the right side of history.
Wrap this up.
Yep.
TNT,
Go right ahead, Tara.
We're dynamite.
I know. I like that. I was seeing that. That's a good name for the show.
Maybe next week we'll do phone calls. What do you think?
Okay, we could try it.
Do phone calls next week?
Yeah. Why not?
Everybody.
All right.
Do your assignment.
The damn thing
Wait,
just cut off. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We can stop whenever we want.
All right, everybody. We love you. Have a
love
great
you.
week. Support us all, and we'll see you soon.
We will see you. Wait, hold on. Where's the thing? Okay. See ya.
Are we done?
Soon.
Are we done?